Okay, all right, we can start. So, yesterday we were discussing about Hrishikesham. Where is that word? Yeah, here it is. Hrishikesham Tadavakyam. Okay. So, Hrishikesham Tadavakyam Idamaha Mahipate. So, the king is, the Sanjaya was addressing Dhritarashtra. Oh, king. Because he is the king. So, Mahipate. Idamaha Mahipate. The meaning of that is, where is it? Mahipate. Mahipate, oh great king. And then he is using Kapidhvajaha. Sanjay is saying Kapidhvajaha. So you know what is Kapi, Mataji?
No, Prabhu.
Kapi means monkey. So their flag, the Pandavas' flag, had a monkey on top of that. So who would be that monkey? It would be Hanuman.
Yeah, Hanuman.
Yeah. So Kapidhvajaha is very significant. So why it is very significant, Prabhupada explains here. This flag, Dhwaja means flag. So this flag, every country has a flag. Like that, every kingdom used to have a flag. So the flag of Pandavas was marked by Hanuman. The flag was on the top of his chariot and it was marked with Hanuman, Vajrangaji. So Hanuman, because he fought for Lord Ramachandra, he's fighting for Krishna. So, you see, Hanuman, he fought for Rama, and here Arjuna is fighting for Krishna. So, Arjuna is also following in the footsteps of Hanuman. So, the entire Vaishnavism, it is like that. Mahajano yena gatassa panthaha. Here, you see. Tarko pratishthaha shrutayo vibhinna. Nasa vrishiryasya matam na bhinnam. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. Mahajano yena gatassa panthaha. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 17.186. Will you be able to read, Mataji? Are you in a position to read translation?
Yes, Prabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path of which religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajanas advocate.
Yes. So, whatever, say, the Shastras confirm that one should accept whatever the path that Mahajanas tell. Mahajanas are what? They are all pure devotees, self-realized predecessors. So there are 12 Mahajanas which are mentioned. So it is mentioned, I'll tell you, 12 Mahajanas are there. Mahajanas. Okay. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.20. Does anyone know who are the Mahajanas? Any one name? There are 12 Mahajanas. Mahajanas are great person, great devotees of the Lord. Anyone? Hanuman. Okay. Narada Muni. That is right. Correct. Yeah, Hanuman is a great devotee of the Lord, no doubt. Now these are, see, he's mentioned.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is.
Yeah, that is 500 years ago.
Okay.
Hanuman was also like from this Treta Yuga. But these verses are coming from even previous yugas. So who are those? Swayambhuhu Naradaha Shambhuhu Kumaraha Kapilo Manuhu Manuhu Prahalado Janako Bhishmo Balir Vayasakir Vayam Dvadashaita Vijanino Dharmam Bhagavatam Bhataha Uhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yam Jnanatvam Ashnute. Okay. So, Akranti Mataji, are you in a position to read?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please read, Mataji.
From where should I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Translation. Okay. Okay. Lord Brahma, Bhagwan Narada, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayambhu Bhuvamanu, Prahalada Maharaja, Janaka Maharaja, Grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaja, Sukadeva, something has popped up, Prabhuji. I can't see that. Yeah, Goswami, known as Bhagavata Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for.
Here, Mata, sorry. Here, Shukadeva Goswami and myself.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Actually, there is something like a briefcase kind of an icon coming up. So I couldn't. I'm on mobile. Maybe it's my problem. I don't know.
No. It's coming for me also, Mataji. Until, okay. Yeah, now. The moment I click on it, it's coming. Go ahead.
Thank you. Sukadeva Goswami and myself know the real religious principle. My dear servants, this transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavata Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for Him, is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. It is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human beings to understand, but if by chance one fortunately understands it, he is immediately liberated and thus he returns home back to Godhead.
Very nice. You know who is saying this? So see this, let me say. Brahma, count. Brahma, Bhagavan Narada, 2, Shiva 3, Kumaras 4, Kapila 5, Swayambhuva Manu 6, Prahlad Maharaj 7, Janaka Maharaj 8, Bhishma Dev 9, Bali Maharaj 10, Shukadev Goswami 11. And there is I. Who is this I? Any idea? There are 12 Mahajanas, okay? Dvadasha Mahajana. Here it is mentioned. Na? Where is it? No. Dvadashaita. Dvadashaita means there are 12. This is Srimad Bhagavatam verse, okay? So, Dvadashaita. Where is this? No, not Krishna. Dvadasha means there are 12. There are 12 Mahajanas. Krishna is not part of Mahajana. He is Bhagavan. Any idea who this 12th person is? I. So it is Yamaraj. Yamadharmaraj is the 12th Mahajana. What is he telling? He's telling to his servants, his assistants, my dear servants, because they are the one who go and get the life of the people when they die. No? So, my dear servants, the transcendental religious principles, that is this bhakti yoga, bhakti principle, which is known as Bhagavata Dharma, see, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for Him. You see so many things. What is that? One is transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavata Dharma. And the same, what is that Bhagavata Dharma? If someone asks, what is this Dharma? What Bhagavata Dharma it is? It is surrendering to Krishna and love for Him. Okay? It is very, very confidential. That means so very secret. So yesterday we read all those verses. What is that? Rahasyam etad. Then guhyatamam. Krishna says all this knowledge is very confidential. Same thing. Yamadharmaraj is also saying it is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human beings to understand. Very difficult. But if by chance one fortunately understands it, he is immediately liberated. See, if you understand it, you will be liberated. That is what, even yesterday I showed you one verse, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. So there Krishna says, if you know about my activities, if you understand me, you will go back to Godhead. So this is what, again, here, what is that? We have to follow the path of Mahajana. And those are the 12 Mahajanas. So whatever the path they have laid, Bhagavatam is saying this. That means don't get cheated. Follow all these Mahajanas. So a Vaishnava should follow the previous Mahajana, the authority that is available. Okay. So that is Vaishnavism. We do not manufacture ideas. We don't commit such foolishness. We simply accept the behavior of the previous acharyas. So in the fighting principle also, Arjuna is fighting for Krishna, right? But he is following the previous acharya. Who is that? Hanumanji. Therefore, he has depicted his flag with Hanuman. That Hanumanji or Janangji, kindly help me. This is the Vaishnavism philosophy. He's saying, my dear Hanumanji, I have come here to fight for Lord Krishna. You also fought for the Lord Ramachandra. So right now, please kindly help me. This is the idea. This is the idea of this verse. What is that? Kapidhvajaha. So any activities of a Vaishnava, they should always pray to the previous Acharya. Kindly help me. Please. This is the thinking of a Vaishnava. Helpless begging from the previous Acharya. That is why when we all start our kirtan, or when I start the class on Sunday morning, afternoon, satsang, or chanting, when we are chanting the rounds, we start with Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. So we start, and that is what here it is said. Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhayam. See? Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, dry arguments are inconclusive. Okay? A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered. That means two great sages. Muni means there has to be, the opinions must differ. Great sage, not a devotee. Okay, devotees, between the devotees, the center of attention for all the devotees is Krishna. So once the philosophy is fixed, there cannot be any argument there. But sages have the argument. Because why? Simply by studying the Vedas, because which are variegated. That means what? Vedas are 4 Vedas, but it is innumerable. There are so many Upanishads, then Upavedantas, so much of things are there. So by studying all that, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. So even someone who reading Vedas, he cannot come to the right path. Krishna is telling this. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this. One moment. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this. And here it is Mahaprabhu is saying the solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. So where is that solid truth? Nihitam dharmasya tattvam. Tattva means, or where is it? Tattvam. Truth. Okay. The truth about the religious principles, it is placed in the heart of the realized persons, heart of the acharyas, heart of the mahajanas. Consequently, as Shastras confirm, one should accept the path of that Mahajanas. Okay, you cannot imitate. Oh no, you should follow the instructions. So, Pada Rajobhishekam. I'll show you another verse. Pada Rajobhi Shekam. Rahuganaita tapasanayati na chejya nirvapanad grihad va na chandasanaiva jalagni suryair vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. What is the meaning? Kranti Mataji, can you read this?
Yeah. My dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize
Yeah,
the
1 minute.
absolute truth.
One minute. Very important. What is he saying? Unless you smear your entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. See, Pada Rajaha. Rajaha means what? Dust. Of what? Dust of the lotus feet. Pada. Abhishekam means smearing all over the body. You have to abhishek. You have to get fully dusted with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord, of the pure devotees. So, when there is a deity, so who are the pure devotees? Like Prabhupada, Acharyas, great devotees. So, when we pay obeisances, what happens? Their deity is there. Their deity is there means what? The dust from their lotus feet is also there in front of them, in front of the deity. So, deity is like a personality. Don't think it's just a photo. So when you pay obeisances in front of the photo, all of us, when we all pay obeisances, what happens? That dust on the floor touches your forehead and your body. That is why one must do pranama. For women, half pranama. For men, full pranama they should do. Okay, so unless he gets the dust of the lotus feet of the great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. Okay, see, now further meaning is given only. So I'll just take the dust, Prabhuji, that's all. I'll be realized? No. When you pay obeisances to the Guru, that means you follow his instructions. Then only the dust will work. You see, can you read? Go on, read, from here.
One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of householder life, leaving home as the vanaprastha, accepting sannyasa, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water, or surrounding oneself in summer by fire and the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee.
Yes, Padarajobhishekam means that you have attained the mercy of the great devotee. That is what is the meaning of Padarajobhishekam. So, by following brahmacharya perfectly, by following the rules and regulations of a grahastha, leaving the home as a vanaprastha, then sannyasa, then you see how you're doing a great tapasya in the winter by submerging yourself in the water, then surrounding oneself in the summer by fire, the scorching heat of the sun. You doing all this, one cannot what? Become great devotee. One cannot understand the absolute truth. What is that? One has to get the mercy of the Lord. And that is what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also telling in this thing. You have to follow the acharyas. And the same thing comes even in the Mahajano Yune Gatassa Pantha. Yamaraj is also saying that. See, so many devotees are saying this. Will they all say unnecessarily? No. And even if they say, who is recording all this? Vyasadeva is recording in the Bhagavatam. So unnecessarily he will not. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, at the end of every chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's the one who has composed Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's right. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadasa. Every line he's thinking of the previous acharyas. Who are those? Rupa, the Shad Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis are there. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Jiva Goswami. He's thinking of them. So he's saying, let me surrender to the Goswamis and they will help me how to write. So one cannot write. One cannot write such great literatures. There has to be the blessings of a previous acharya. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in our Guru Parampara, we have Prabhupada's Guru, that is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His Guru's Guru. His Guru's Guru. His Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He says, Vaishnava Thakura Tomara Kukkura Baliya Janaha More. Bhakti Vinoda Thakur. See, he's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He's a magistrate. He was having the highest government position during Britishers' time, during 1850s, between 1850 and 1910. He was the highest government official, and he's an acharya. So he says, Vaishnava Thakura Tomara Kukkura Baliya Janaha More. He says, my dear Vaishnava Thakur, that means my dear Vaishnavas, Acharyas, you just accept me as your Kukkura. Does anyone know what is Kukkura? Kukkura. Very close to the same word is very much used even in Telugu language for an animal. Kukkura, very close to that.
Chicken, hen?
No. Kukkura, hen. Hen, what do you call in Telugu?
Kodi.
Kodi. This is even more closer. This Kukkura.
Dog, Prabhu?
Exactly. You got it, Mataji. Almost Kukka, we say, no? So Kukkura, he's saying, Vaishnava Thakur is, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, please accept me as your dog. Why? Because the dog works by the indication of a master. The dog will give his life. He will give his life for the master. So dog has a very good qualification. However strong a dog may be, when the master orders, he will give his life. Maybe the master is very weak, very poor, weak, but the dog is very strong. It will be acting on the orders of the master. This is the dog, very faithful, so faithful to the master. So Vaishnava Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, Vaishnava Thakura Tomara Kukkura. My dear Vaishnava Thakur, kindly accept me as your dog. And the exact language is little different, then the Kirtan comes. So it says, see, the dog, what will it do? It will always try to protect the master. As dogs keeps the watch, so I will watch you so that nobody will come to disturb you. That is how the disciple thinks of his master, so that I will not allow anyone to come and disturb you. That's what the dog barks. If someone is coming to disturb the master, he will go and he will shout first. And then the Vaishnava disciple says, I will be like a dog in front of you. And whatever little prasadam you will give me, I will be satisfied. That's the dog's qualification. You see, when the master is eating, the dog will never come in front and then take away the food. No. it will just sit aside, and it starts looking at the master. Whenever the master will give, I will take. With the strength of the dog, it can easily take away the food. No, but it doesn't. It will wait for the master's order. Then the master gives one morsel of food. He is satisfied. So Vaishnava is a means to follow the previous acharyas, not blindly. Okay, blindly means at the beginning, not blindly. You should know whether I'm following the right acharya, because if you don't follow the right acharya, now if you follow the wrong person, where that person, if he's going to hell, you will follow him. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita about that. So that is why Mahajano yena kata sapanta dharmasa tattvam nihitam guhayam. Okay. Then all right, then what else? All right, I'll stop here. Any questions, Mataji?
Prabhuji, why did this Thakur, whoever it is, why did he work for Britishers made Indians as slaves, right? So why did he work for Britishers? Whatever position he holds doesn't matter.
Okay, so this was in 1850s, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur, let me see. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Not this one. Bhaktivinoda Thakur teachings. When was he born? He was born in 18. Okay. Let me tell you. Yeah, 1838. Okay. He's born in 1838 in Calcutta. So, after he was born, basically, he studied there. In Calcutta, he belongs to a rich family background. So he studied. And then he obviously at that time, see, Britishers were making us slaves. We say that, right? It is the case with every kingdom. Whenever there was no chance at that time to take another job, and that is a very respectable job. What is that? District magistrate. He was, after he became this acharya, right? He gave up this magistrate job. He completely dedicated his life for Krishna consciousness. So you see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is a grahastha. Grahastha is supposed to somehow, he had how many? 10 sons, 10 children. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So his life, I think 3 days before Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance was being celebrated. So I'll tell you the lifestyle of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He used to sleep only 2 hours per day. That's all. Only 2 hours. And as he was holding the magistrate of the Puri, he was also the temple president of the Puri temple, Jagannath Puri temple. That was the rule of British law. So he is a grahastha. He has to work. He's very knowledgeable. He got married. And when he had around 8th or 9th children after that, he was thinking, he was praying to Lord Jagannath. Jagannath, I want a son who can preach your word throughout the world. I cannot do it. I have already become old. please give me, bless me with a son who can preach your gospel. He's a great devotee. So, and then who was born? Bimala Prasad was born. And Bimala, because why he prayed like that means that time Vaishnavism means it is a cheap thing. That some gurus will come, they will say that I am Krishna, let me do some rasa dance, and he will invite all the young women, young girls, unmarried girls, virgins, please come, and then he will abuse them. So the Vaishnava means people used to look so down on them. That was a condition during Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. Then somehow, he got into touch with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, that is his spiritual master. After he came into Grahastha, after he took the position and all that, then he understood. And I said, where are the, just now today we read, no? Where is the knowledge of all the Vedic knowledge? Where does it reside? Can anyone answer? Where is the knowledge? Where will you find? Huh? Sorry, Mataji?
Vedas. There are 4 Vedas, right? So
Yeah, Vedas. Yeah, but where do you find all of them? This. Okay, I'll show you that.
Okay.
Nihitam Guhayam. This one. See? The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of self-realized person, in the heart of the pure Vaishnava Acharyas. So, because once a person becomes pure devotee, all the knowledge will automatically be revealed to him through his heart. Heart-to-heart transfer will happen. The knowledge from the Acharya, from his guru to the disciple. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur learned all that. Then he struggled so hard to get all this Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we are all reading. Our Purvacharyas worked so hard because there was no authentic script written. It was all those book was in parts and pieces. Here someone was having, there someone was having. Somehow he collected all of them and he put together one book. Otherwise, we wouldn't be reading this today. Bhagavatam. So all the authorized commentaries on all of them were lost. But somehow by Bhaktivinoda Thakur's this thing, all that knowledge was brought. Now by this time, he already became old. And that's when his son is Bimala Prasad, who is none other than Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. So he took over it. But he asked, but the father did not give initiation to his son. He said, you should take it from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was one of the disciple again of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he took it from him, and then he established the Gaudiya Math, 64 Gaudiya Math in India. He had established. And then Prabhupada, then he took that movement outside of the world. So the answer for your question is, at that time he was a grahastha, very learned. So obviously, like now, I'm also working. I'm a slave to this company, which I'm working now. For the maintenance, we all have to work. Yeah. Because had it been Kshatriya, a definite Kshatriya, he would go and he would revolt against the Britishers. That's what all the Kshatriyas have done, and they have lost their lives. Why? Because these Britishers, they had more powerful military weapon, guns, missiles. So see, in the British system, the king does not go for fighting. He will sit somewhere and he will release the missiles. And Indians were basically fighting on horses and see, that is one of the duty of the king. When the king goes for a war, it is not that the king should sit inside the home. No, he'll be the first person, say, facing the enemy. Then the soldiers in the other group. Not that they send first like that. No. So in that way, we lost a lot of good ruling Kshatriyas. And obviously, we had come under the foreign influence, British. So there was no other go. In fact, Britishers, they used to respect him so much. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they used to respect him because, yeah, I told you, 2 hours he used to sleep. He used to sleep only for 2 hours a day. Rest of the day, the entire magisterial work which he had, if a person, normal a magistrate, if he takes 24 hours to work, to finish the job, he will finish it within 3 hours. That much fast. Looking at that, he will give the ruling. No, he's wrong, he's right. That's all. He was doing this in Puri. The Britishers were so impressed. They wanted him that, they laid a railway line to his home. From Calcutta to Mayapur. He was living in the later part of his life. He was living in Mayapur. And there was a railway line laid down for him. He is that powerful. Only because he became that powerful, today we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace found. Otherwise, the birthplace was completely covered by some barren land, actually. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace is very, very glorious. So it was gone. Nobody knew where it was. And then the Muslim rulers came and then everything was gone. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he took the, survey records from 200 years, 100 years, all those survey records, he took it. He searched and he said that this is the place where, this should be the place on the map that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should have been taken birth. So he went there along with his son, Bimala Prasad, that is Bhaktivedanta Thakur, when he was so young. He went there. So when he went there, he saw that it's fully with tulsi leaves and full forest. So then one nearby who's that? Farmer was going. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked him, what is this land? Why this land is left like this? Apart from this land, all the nearby land is nicely plowed and nicely grown, agriculture and all that, except this land. And then that Muslim farmer used to say, hey, Swamiji, this is waste. This is waste land. Whatever we put, whatever seeds we try to sow in this land, only tulsi plants come out. So we don't use this. It's a waste land for us. And they don't know this value. They left. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur got this confidence. Yes, this must be the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. Then, but he needs confirmation. Someone should confirm that this is a place. So he went and asked his spiritual master, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. By that time, he was 144 years old already. 140 years old. And he was bent down. He can't even lift his body. And he's always chanting, even at that age. So Jagannath Babaji Maharaj said, yes, sure, show me, I will come. He was not even in a position to speak nicely. So his disciple brought Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj on a basket, carrying him on his head. And along with some kirtan, they all came there. And before even Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that this is the land, even before they approached, right before that, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, he was so bent that he jumped out of the basket, stood on the ground and started dancing at the age of Maharaj. Yeah, he's the one. He is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's. See, this is how it was. He's so bent like this. So right after this, he like after that point, he jumped and he started dancing in ecstasy and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur got the confirmation. Yes, this is that place. He didn't even mention, Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't mention, Maharaj, this is the place. No. As he approached, immediately, such old age, such bent person, see, can't even lift properly his hand. He jumped out of the basket and started dancing. Now, okay, later on, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has done so many great things. All that was possible because he was at the he was in that post of magistrate. So it is all Krishna's plan. Krishna sends his devotees. Those devotees, see, even Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, the Shad Goswamis who are there, they were actually the ministers in the Nawab Hussain Shah or someone, that Muslim king in the Kashi. They were the ministers under him. But they had, at that time, they had 1 million gold coins. That much wealth they were so wealthy. They gave up everything for the Lord, and they became mendicants in Vrindavan. Okay. Oh, sorry, Mataji, long answer. But did I answer your question?
Sure,
Okay.
thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you. All right, we'll close here. We'll chant Hare Krishna mantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thanks for joining. We will meet again on Monday. All right. Jai Shri Prabhupada.